We're live! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the channel, YouTube.com. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the guy with the biggest head known to mankind. This is, of course, the very first ever Lightning Flash update of 2022. I greatly appreciate all the support throughout 2021. We made it once again to 2022. My goals remain the same. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to the people in the chat. We got Alan Holland. We got Rob Wells Jr., Adam Carl, Matt Moody. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a lot more people throughout the course of the stream. We got Brian King. Thank you very much for coming on in. I hope all of you had a very Merry Christmas. I hope all of you had a very happy and healthy New Year's Eve. You guys have been fantastic. You guys are amazing. Absolutely the best fans a guy could ever ask for. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. You guys have been off the fucking charts. 2021 was a great year for the brand. 2022 is going to be even better. Even better. We got a lot of material coming to you in the next couple weeks. Of course, yesterday was the rundown for WWE Day 1 2022, which of course is tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Peacock, that is. Get your mind out of the gutter, people. So if you want to go check that one out, I Nick Fiore on the channel. The link is in the description. I am still in the process of recovering from COVID-19. Obviously, it is a process. It's a process, but I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make sure that I am in good shape. I am ready to go back to work, hopefully by January 10th. Hopefully nothing is bothering me by then. But I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there overall. I am kicking ass in various areas of life, obviously. Still getting paid. I put in for my hours. I'm in the process of getting some more guests on the channel, some guests that you haven't seen before. But I greatly appreciate all of your support. This is the LFU for January 1st, 2022. We got a lot to talk about. I see Lisa has just entered the chat. She is fantastic. Let me know if there's any technical difficulties. Let me know if my mic is working okay. We have a lot to discuss. Like I said, Bobby Lashley could potentially be turning babyface, which I don't know why. Mustafa Ali currently has no creative plans in store for him, which is fucking pathetic. Big Swoll is a fuck retard, and Tony Khan called her out for being retarded as ever last night, and he got shit for it. I don't understand why. Maybe it's because everyone's just as retarded as Big Swoll is, but regardless, we're going to talk about that as well. And big one. Tony Storm left. She got up and said, "Fuck you, WWE." We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Johnny Gargano. Yes, Johnny Wrestling potentially making his debut for AEW on January 26th, 2022 in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. Lots of stuff to talk about. We'll go over three weekly shows, Raw, Dynamite, and Rampage. And on top of that, we're going to go over my personal top 10 matches of 2021. And then tomorrow is, of course, the rewind for WWE Day 1, 2022. I apologize if I sound a little nasally, but I promise you we're going to get through this stream. It's going to be a good one. Tomorrow's the rewind with Earl Cole, baby. You do not want to miss it. But before we get into the festivities here, Please make sure you follow me on social media at the DJ Storms. That is both on Twitter and Instagram at the DJ_Storms. Add me on Facebook for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page. I may just send you an invite. To join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. All of those links are in the description. Please go check them out ASAP. Check out the rundown with Nick Fiore for WWE Day 1. The link is in the description. I had a fantastic time with Nick Fiore. Very happy to have him back on the channel. Be sure you like the stream because I believe we're about 6 minutes into the stream. First LFU of 2022. I got COVID-19. I am doing this for you. So if you guys are in here, you got to make sure you like the stream, and you got to make sure you share out the stream on all platforms, social media, because it is vital. We want to get as many people in here as possible. And then of course, more and more people will come in, more and more likes will flow, more and more views will flow as well. It helps everybody out. You guys have more people to interact with, and I have more people to rant and rave to. Hit the subscribe button and hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, I'm telling you, baby, it is the best time to be on YouTube. It's the only time you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination, this beautiful mustache right here. It's 2022. We're going to light it up right here on the channel with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of Everybody wants a piece of the Stormsmeister. Yes, Rob Wells Jr. R.I.P. to Betty White, passing away just a few weeks before her 100th birthday. She was a beautiful soul, so let's all send some prayers to the friends and family of Betty White. But now, we got to get right into the festivities, because there's a shit ton of things to talk about. Tony Khan and Big Swoll. Certainly a shaky situation, although I don't really understand why. Like I said, I think everyone's just as retarded as Big Swoll is. So, the other day, I believe it was, was it December 30th or was it December 31st? I don't remember. But an article came out from Big Swoll was on her podcast, I believe. Now, I didn't even know Big Swoll had a podcast. I don't fucking listen to the podcast because, quite frankly, I think Big Swoll is an absolute fucking idiot in every sense of the fucking word. More ways than one, by the way. But Big Swoll, she came out on her podcast, right? She talked about the lack of structure and lack of diversity in AEW. Spoke about how sometimes people aren't comfortable writing for themselves and how some people aren't necessarily equipped to do that. Maybe it would be better if there was some creative writers writing for certain talent, something along those lines. And she went on to say, oh, the lack of diversity in AEW. And it is quite mind-boggling to me how this conversation would even come up. Because I actually had a lot of respect for Big Swoll when she left AEW. And the way that she went about it. And the maturity that she took. Especially considering we know how transparent Tony Khan has been. We know how gracious Tony Khan has been. We know how down-to-earth Tony Khan has really been when it comes to the talent that he employs, right? So, I'm reading this, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, this woman sounds so fucking ungrateful. She sounds so fucking brainwashed. She sounds so fucking stupid. She honestly sounds like one of these brainwashed liberal zombies that I have to deal with on a daily basis on Twitter, trying to justify everything that Joe Biden has done. It's legitimately fucking sad how this is still a topic of discussion. Racism is not prominent anymore. I don't give a shit what anyone says. You people need to get a fucking grip. Really need to get a fucking grip. So, Big Swoll came out with these retarded fucking comments, right? She came out with these retarded fucking comments. No, they were not. It was not valid criticism. Please do not give me this bullshit. There is no such thing as a lack of diversity in AEW. What do you call Nyla Rose? Nyla Rose was the second ever AEW Women's World Champion. The second ever. And she is a native transgender female. What about Riho and Hikaru Shida? Are they two white individuals from fucking Bumblefuck, Indiana? No, they're two Japanese women. What about Scorpio Sky? What about Scorpio Sky? Scorpio Sky is a black man, and if I'm not mistaken, he's not the color of fucking mayonnaise. He was one of the first ever AEW World Tag Team Champions. What about Powerhouse Hobbs and the prominent role that he's had? What about the fact that Dante Martin has been getting a lot of big showcases against some of the top stars in AEW? He was in a main event match against MJF just a few weeks ago. MJF of all people. What about Andrade? What about Andrade? Has Andrade been shafted at all? No. Andrade has been put in top tier, prominent fucking matches. And he's beaten some of the top stars in AEW like Pac and Cody. Now he's going into a feud with Darby. What about Ricky Starks? What about Ricky Starks? What about Jade Cargill? Jade Cargill's been undefeated. She's in a fucking TNT Championship title match. She went all the way to the fucking finals of the TBS Championship Tournament. Which, by the way, she could very well win. I don't think she's going to win. I would not give her the win, but she could very well win. So where exactly is the lack of diversity in AEW? Just because you didn't get the opportunity? Just because you were not put on Dark? Or you were not put on Dynamite or Rampage? Just because you couldn't cut it? Just because you were so brainwashed by the media that you were living in a fucking fantasy world where you think that you're entitled to opportunities just because of the color of your skin? Nobody is entitled to anything. Nobody. Nobody was entitled to anything. Big Swoll didn't get the opportunities because of A, her Crohn's disease prevented that, and Tony Khan did not want to put any faith and trust in Swoll because of her Crohn's disease, and B, Big Swoll was just not that good. Big Swoll was just not that good. I am sorry to tell you, Big Swoll did not measure up. She didn't. If Big Swoll was wrestling like Bianca Belair, then we could start making the argument. But she didn't. Big Swoll just wasn't good. She wanted the opportunities. She had to work for them. She wanted the opportunities. She had to put forth the effort. So at the end of the day, none of this is about race. I had various people, Rob Welsh Jr. saying it in the chat right now, and I had Stevie as well. Little Stevie, I've had him on the channel before. He's a black man. He comes from Indiana. He's saying it himself. None of this is about race. Big Swoll just wasn't that good. She just wasn't that good. Big Swoll is just another individual brainwashed by the media to become a race baiter. That's it. What about Anthony Bowens? Anthony Bowens was just in a big-time matchup against Darby Allin last night. It has become so ridiculous how the moment that someone says something stupid, just because they're a person of color, that just means all their feelings are justified. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. If you say something stupid, then it's stupid. Big Swoll said something stupid. Racism's not prominent. It's not alive. She didn't get the opportunities that she wanted because she just wasn't good, and there is no such thing as a lack of diversity in AEW. Plus, I don't even understand why people are so infatuated with diversity. Diversity doesn't equal quality. You don't push someone because of their ethnic background. You push someone because they are at the top of the food chain in terms of in-ring and character talent. Powerhouse Hobbs is not supposed to be pushed to a TNT title or a world title because of the color of his skin. He's supposed to be pushed to a world championship because he worked his ass off for it, and he has been working his ass off for it. He's going to be a champion. It's all about patience. I'm still wondering where these fucking people were when Liv Morgan was getting mistreated by WWE for the last 4 years now. What about Tony Storm? No one was fucking complaining about Tony Storm except the people like me. Seriously. You honestly think that Jade Cargill's not going to get better? She shouldn't win the TNT Championship, but she's going to get better, and she's going to be on that level of a Britt Baker or a Thunder Rosa in due time. It's all about patience. Diversity does not equal quality. Nobody should be pushed just for the sake of representation. You get pushed because you are the best in your division. Powerhouse Hobbs is not the best yet. He's going to be, but he's not there yet. Same thing with Jade Cargill. Same thing with the Acclaimed. You don't push anyone because of their skin color. And Big Swoll doesn't get that. And a lot of people that support Big Swoll, I'm sorry, I don't give a shit who you are. You support Big Swoll, you're a part of the problem here. Tony Khan. He took some time to respond to Big Swoll's comments. He tweeted out a couple of hours before Rampage last night, he tweeted out, and I quote, "The top 2 AEW execs are Brown, me, and Mega. Jade, Bowens, Caster, Dante, Nyla, Isaiah, and Mark Quinn all won on TV this month. The TBS title tournament has been very diverse. I let Swoll's contract expire as I felt her wrestling wasn't good enough. AEW Rampage, street fight tonight." End quote. I don't really understand what he said that was wrong. Matter of fact, what he said right here was 1,000% warranted. Big Swoll provoked him. So you expect people not to say anything when they are provoked. If someone says something stupid like that and someone else is provoked by said individual saying something stupid, they're going to clap back. That's exactly what Tony Khan did. Big Swoll started this all. Big Swoll could have just kept their mouth shut. Big Swoll could have remained silent and thought to herself, hey, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say this because maybe it's fucking stupid. Maybe, just maybe, this is all just a complete misunderstanding and I'm acting selfish myself. But of course, she'd never do that because Big Swoll doesn't admit when she's wrong. Tony Khan has at least admitted when he's wrong in the past. Here, Tony Khan wasn't wrong at all. He was not wrong at all. Matter of fact, he had every fucking right to say everything that he said. I would have said the same damn thing. Because what Big Swoll said was fucking stupid. And now people are saying, oh, Tony Khan should not be on Twitter. Fuck you. Fuck you. Tony Khan had every right to say what he said. And I am damn proud to be a fan of Tony Khan, to be a supporter of Tony Khan, and I'm damn proud to say that AEW is the place where my heart resides. That's the type of boss that I want to have. Tony Khan don't take shit from anybody. Nobody. Good on Tony Khan. Anyone that's mad at what Tony Khan said, you are part of the problem. Big Swoll was not good at all. Tony Khan had plans. Big Swoll just didn't measure up. Plain and simple. Sorry if that pisses you off, but read the shirt. The truth is the truth. And Tony Khan spoke the truth. You don't like it? Go fuck yourself. Not my problem that you are too soft to handle the facts. Good on Tony Khan. Good on Tony Khan. Fuck Big Swoll. And fuck anyone that supports her. I don't give a shit who you are. Moving on. Fightful reported that WWE Creative didn't have anything planned for Mustafa Ali during the recent show in Chicago. Him and his wife recently had their third child, but Ali has been off TV without a trace for the last 2 months now. It's quite fucking sad, it really is. Mustafa Ali is a guy that you could absolutely build a division around. He's that good in the ring. And then people want to say, "Oh, well, you're asking for Mustafa Ali, and you're clamoring for better for Mustafa Ali, but you're not supporting Big Swoll." I mean, if you actually think that Mustafa Ali and Big Swoll are on the same level, I think you need to get your head checked. See, Mustafa Ali is a part of a division in which the same people are being used every single week. Big Swoll is not. And Big Swoll just didn't measure up. Everyone's getting equal opportunity on AEW if you are ready for that opportunity. Mustafa Ali's been ready. The reports have came out that Vince McMahon just doesn't like Mustafa Ali, and they don't have any plans for Mustafa Ali. That's why he was off television for 7 months throughout the course of 2020. Whenever Ali comes back, Ali absolutely deserves better. And he absolutely should be on television sooner rather than later. He should be fighting Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship. I don't understand why they broke up him and Mansoor. They should have remained a tag team. They should have been a tag team fighting the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Moving on, we got a report from Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer Radio. Meltzer discussed Bobby Lashley and the fact that he could be turning babyface. He stated, and I quote, "If you watch the show, you certainly get the impression that Bobby Lashley is going babyface. They played a total babyface video package for him at the pay-per-view. Yeah, so, I mean, it's been feeling like that's been in the cards, and then he has to beat 3 guys to get into the day 1 WWE title match. I mean, that's a total babyface move." End quote. I do not know why this is even in discussion. I'm not sure if MVP's contract is coming up. I haven't heard anything about that. Not sure if it's MVP's contract coming up. I'm not sure if they just want to break up Bobby Lashley and MVP. Not sure if they're trying something new for Bobby Lashley since he went on a dominant heel run with the WWE title already. Maybe this is the fact that they're just out of ideas. Oh yeah, let's turn Bobby Lashley face. We got nothing better to do for him. Don't understand why, but as we saw in the past, babyface Bobby Lashley ain't good at all. And if we're going to be quite honest with you, if Bobby Lashley is to go face, he should stay in this serious demeanor. He needs to be a serious babyface. But even then, I don't see Bobby Lashley as a babyface working out. They already ruined Bobby Lashley with everything that they did with Bill Goldberg and the fact that they rushed Big E's contract cash-in. Bobby Lashley's been taking loss after loss. And if Bobby Lashley loses the WWE title match tonight, then you did everything that you did to build up Bobby Lashley on that one episode of Raw for fucking nothing. For nothing. So I don't really understand where this is leading to. I quite frankly don't care. And if you ask me, babyface Bobby Lashley, a big no-no for me. Hard pass. Moving on. Lisa, if you're asking, what happened to Mansoor? He's just not being used on television. Kind of like 60% of the fucking roster. Moving on here. As per PW Insider, multiple WWE superstars tested positive for COVID-19 over the last week, the site reported that Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Big E were all pulled from the MSG show on December 26th, last Sunday, which I do believe Earl Cole, sure he'll pop up in the chat at some point. He'll pop up in the chat at some point, but Earl Cole, he was at the event in MSG. We were supposed to see Big E versus Bobby Lashley, or no, Big E versus Kevin Owens, I believe. Big E versus Kevin Owens inside of a steel cage for the WWE title at the show. Big E was pulled and Edge took his place. Now, as it relates to switching up the day one plans and the matches, WrestleVotes came out on Monday and tweeted something in regards to that. They tweeted out, and I quote, "Regarding the availability of talent for this weekend's day one pay-per-view, source told me that this morning that if the show was tonight, multiple matches would have to be changed. Good thing the event isn't until Saturday, today. And WWE is hopeful they can keep the card as it is. All fluid at this time." End quote. Now, there are rumors going around and the reports going around saying that WWE has stopped testing for COVID, which I don't really care because, let's be real, it's not that serious. I'm fine. All I have is a little nasally voice, a cough and a sneeze here or there. It's not that bad. I just feel like I have a little bit of a cold, but I don't feel run down. So I don't really care whether WWE tests for COVID or not. But it seems as though the day one plans could very well remain the same. I don't really care if they remain the same or not. All I want is a decent show. It looks like a decent card on paper tonight, minus Drew McIntyre and Madcap Moss. I still don't understand why Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura is not on the show in place of that. But that's a different conversation for a different time. It is what it is there. Here's something that really pissed me off. This actually pissed me off more than the Big Swoll incident. This pissed me off more than the Big Swoll incident. Which, by the way, did you know that Sean Dean and Powerhouse Hobbs came out in defense of Tony Khan? And they were getting shit for it. Two black men just came out in defense of Tony Khan and what he said. Yet, some people are still siding with Swoll. These people are fucking mental. People are fucking retarded. Retarded! Moving on from that, because I've really had enough of that bullshit. Fuck Big Swoll. Sean Ross Sapp. Jonathan. My favorite news reporter, Sean Ross Sapp. Although I think I should make a New Year's resolution. Maybe no more going after Jonathan. No more going after Jonathan. I don't know. Leave me your thoughts in the chat. What should I do? Should I still go after Jonathan? I don't know. But he tweeted out on Wednesday afternoon, a shock to many. Not really a shock to me, but I'm actually shocked that it came this early. Toni Storm was gone from WWE. Now, many, including myself, thought that she was released, but it later came out that she actually quit. She quit. This wasn't a situation where she just asked for her release. Cassidy Haynes of Bodyslam.net reported that she just simply quit after working a triple threat match at a house show. I believe it was against Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks. So, Cassidy Haynes stated, and I quote, "Turns out, Toni didn't exactly request her release. She just got up and quit. Worked a triple threat match at the house show last night and then paid out of her own pocket to fly herself home." End quote. End quote. I see Rob Wells Jr. took the words right out of my mouth. Toni Storm pulled a CM Punk. Fuck you. Walked out. I don't really understand why anyone is shocked at this. To be quite honest with you, I'm shocked that it happened this soon. But if we're going to be honest here, this is what people aren't talking about. WWE exposed themselves. They exposed the underlying hidden message that they have. I want you guys to think about this. Toni Storm is not the first NXT call-up to be embarrassed. She's not. I want you guys to think. Every single NXT call-up minus Riddle, Damian Priest, The Shield, and the Horsewomen, every single call-up has been embarrassed, right? Why do you think that WWE willingly let Toni Storm go? Why do you think they willingly let her go? Why do you think they willingly let her go? Why do you think they willingly let Johnny Gargano go? They let Kyle O'Reilly go. They let Adam Cole go. Why do you think they let all those guys go? Because they wanted them to go. That's exactly what they wanted them to do. WWE, they have this underlying manipulative master plan for themselves. WWE and their goal is to erase everything that Triple H has done. Eradicate everything that is directly associated with Triple H. Toni Storm was directly associated with Triple H. WWE has now exposed the true motives that they have. Yes, they release people, but you see, that would be the easy thing to do. WWE willingly went out of their way to embarrass Toni Storm. Toni Storm had a great run on NXT UK. She was great. Toni Storm then came to NXT. She could have easily became the NXT Women's Champion if done right. She was never given the opportunity to because Vince McMahon just wanted her on the main roster. And why? They called her up. She beat Zelina Vega. Then she was off television for 4 months. Came back. Lost in a Survivor Series match. Went away again, and then stood up to Charlotte Flair, and the entire feud was built around Toni Storm and Charlotte Flair throwing pie, whipped cream pie, in their faces, right? Toni Storm then gets her ass beat by Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair looks great. Then she pins Charlotte in a fluke victory, and then she loses to Charlotte Flair clean on Christmas Eve. Literally a week ago. And then she's gone. WWE exposed themselves for having an underlying plan to make any and every NXT call-up that was directly associated with Triple H, make them so miserable that they would want to get up and quit. And when they don't quit, then they release a slew of superstars and cite budget cuts. This company is run by a disgusting, manipulative, egotistical, greedy, inhumane devil of a human being named Vince McMahon. It is absolutely ridiculous. I have run out of words in my vocabulary to describe how fucking disgusted I am. This company willingly went out of their way to embarrass any and all NXT call-ups, so that way they'll leave. And when they don't leave, they'll release a slew of superstars with those NXT call-ups in that slew, and then cite budget cuts. They wanted Adam Cole to leave. They wanted Kyle O'Reilly to leave. They wanted Toni Storm and Johnny Gargano to leave. They didn't even have to fire him. They wanted him to leave. They didn't want to resign him. They wanted them to leave because they were directly associated with Triple H. And it's fucking sad. It really is. It's fucking sad because Toni Storm, she has been very, very vocal about how she suffers from mental health and self-doubt. Yet WWE willingly went out of their way to embarrass Toni Storm when they know that she suffers through self-doubt? I mean, holy shit. If Toni Storm were to say something about how that affected her mental health, that's a fucking PR nightmare. I'm surprised that the Nia Jax incident hasn't really blown up yet. It is so fucking ridiculous. It really is. It is so fucking ridiculous that WWE would literally go out of their way to embarrass Toni Storm because they don't find any value in her. And, Charlotte didn't say anything. Charlotte, I'm actually going to blame Charlotte partially for this. She didn't say anything. She was for the betterment of the division. She would have said something. But no, she just went along with it because, hey, I'm looking good in the end. It is fucking disgusting. It is absolutely fucking disgusting. I don't even know where to begin or what else to say. I don't. I really don't even know what else to say. It is ridiculous how more and more scenarios come out with WWE and someone leaves or someone gets released unjustifiably or someone's mistreated. More and more and more, the company does everything in their power to show you that you should not be defending them or supporting them, but yet there are still people that come out and support them regardless. It's ridiculous. And you know what? Good on Toni. Good on Toni. She saw the writing on the wall. This was going to be Toni Storm's fate anyway. This was going to be her fate anyway. So you know what she did? She got up. She walked out. She said, fuck this company. I am not getting mistreated anymore. And that was that. Dave Meltzer said she was burnt out. Of course she was burnt out. She was burnt out from being mistreated since the moment that she got up to fucking SmackDown. And Toni Storm? Oh, Toni Storm, she's going to be an excellent addition to the AEW women's division. Can you imagine what's going to happen with the women's division by the end of 2022? Tony Khan has single-handedly given the women's division life in 2021, pushing Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, Nyla Rose, Sheeta, Statlander, and Soho. He got Soho as well. Can you imagine what's going to happen when we get Athena, aka Amber Moon, Nixon Newell, Tegan Nox, and Toni Storm? AEW's women's division is going to put all the other women's divisions in the world for pro wrestling to dog shit shame. And it's a beautiful fucking thing to see. It really is. Women's wrestling in WWE is absolute shit. Every single time they had a chance to make a new star, they fucked it up. And you know what? Toni Storm, I don't blame her at all for walking out. Good. Toni Storm's going to be an excellent addition to the AEW women's division. Tony Khan's going to make that women's division something spectacular. Watch. Fuck WWE. Fuck WWE for doing that to Toni Storm. I got a report from an interview. Matt Taven spoke to the Wrestling Inc. Daily. Matt Taven is a Ring of Honor superstar. He is partnered with Mike Bennett and his wife, Maria Kanellis. He said that despite his partner, Mike Bennett, and his wife, Maria's negative experience in WWE, he would still consider going there. Matt Taven said, I mean, everyone's experiences are different. I think Mike would be one to tell you that as well. Just because things went a certain way for him doesn't mean things would go a certain way for someone else. I grew up a WWE fan. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested. I'm interested in anything. I've been able to make the most out of any situation I've ever been given. So I honestly feel whoever and wherever I was to get a shot, I would make the most of it. End quote. So it's almost like he's saying, yeah, I realize what WWE is all about. I realize that I won't really have a chance, but it's still a childhood dream of mine. Yeah, I'll make the most of it. He's kind of like at war with himself. Listen, I understand if going to the WWE is a childhood dream of yours. I get it. There's nothing wrong with having dreams, but there is something wrong with completely ignoring the fact that the guy in charge is the guy that's going to absolutely crush your dreams and crush any hope that you have in making it. That's the point I'm trying to make. Unless you are someone that Vince McMahon loves, unless you actually have the look and the promo ability that Vince wants, or unless you're a homegrown talent, unless you're in fucking football or baseball or basketball or lacrosse, hockey, tennis, like this fucking shitty ass college program that WWE has right now for college students. This shit is completely ridiculous. It really is. I'm sorry. Matt Taven, he's gonna have to fucking wake up. He's going to have to wake up because there ain't no fucking way in hell that he's going to succeed in the WWE. There ain't. The chances of Matt Taven succeeding in the WWE are 0.000000001. If Karrion fucking Cross couldn't succeed, and he has all the credentials of a Vince McMahon guy, if he couldn't succeed, what makes you think you're going to succeed? You're exactly what Vince doesn't want. You're straight out of the fucking indies. You're too indie. You came from Ring of Honor. He don't want anyone that knows anything about pro wrestling. He wants to train you from scratch. Unless you can cosplay as a fucking college student coming out of your senior year at college football, whatever the fuck you do, college fucking tennis, college fucking hockey or baseball, basketball, lacrosse, blah, 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 blah. Unless you can cosplay as a fucking college student that doesn't know a fucking headlock from a fucking hat. I don't know. I don't think you ain't ever gonna succeed in the WWE. Unless you cosplaying as a dumbass college student that knows nothing, you ain't gonna succeed. I got no issue with Matt Taven, but I mean, come on. Come on. Make the most of it so you're pretty much okay with being treated like shit as long as, oh, I made it to the WWE. I'm sorry. I can't get behind that. I can't respect that. I'll tell you what I can respect, though. Johnny Gargano. According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, Johnny Gargano could make his AEW debut on Dynamite in Cleveland at the Wolstein Center on January 26th. Interesting. He stated, and I quote, "As more time goes on, I have this feeling that Gargano will debut in Cleveland. That would be the right night to do it, right? It's, I think, maybe late January, maybe January 26th. I don't know 100% that he's going, but he's talking about wanting to wrestle Kenny Omega. It's things he's said both publicly and privately. I know he's heavily considering it." End quote. I hope to God he fucking does. I hope to God he does. I really hope to God he does, because at the end of the day, Johnny Gargano and AEW, it's a brilliant decision. Brilliant decision. Can you imagine the fucking matches we'll get? On top of that, no one is guaranteed to be at the top of the card in AEW. I'm not saying Johnny Gargano is going to be a major difference maker and he should be the world champion. But at the end of the day, this is going to help Johnny Gargano in the long run. Tony Khan's goal is not just to hire people and then push them straight to the top just based off of their name value or where they've been or just because he favors them. No. Tony Khan's plan is to build name value for the people that he employs. He wants everyone to succeed. So even if Gargano doesn't become a champion in AEW, he still boosts some name value to a point where once his contract is up, wherever he goes next, people are going to be quick to hire him because of where he was. He was both in WWE and in AEW. Tony Khan wants the professional wrestling industry to thrive. He wants the professional wrestling industry to flourish. That's exactly what putting Johnny Gargano on the roster would do. He doesn't want to kill independent wrestling. He wants it to thrive because the more independent wrestling there is, the more people he has to go out of his way and hire. Some good shit. Some really good shit. So if he does debut, I wouldn't be surprised. If he doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised either because, Tony Khan has a lot of big surprises coming. A lot of big surprises coming. Those are the news, rumors, and reports, people. Greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. Let's check the chat. Let us check the chat. And then we're going to get into 3 weekly show reviews. And then we got the top 10 matches of 2021. Dee got McDonald's. It's a little unhealthy, but, Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to you. Just be careful. Make sure you put some barbecue sauce on those chicken McNuggets. Lisa's heading out to a family dinner. Watch the rest of the show when you get home. Happy New Year, Lisa, and I will see you tonight. Hopefully we can chat a little bit before WWE Day 1. Hula Grim, how you doing? Hula Grim. David Maniscalco is in the building. How you doing? Greatly appreciate you showing up. Dee, I'm hoping that the hangover isn't too bad. Speaking of hangover, I think I'm gonna watch The Hangover. It's on Peacock, not The Cock. Peacock. It's on Peacock. Hangover is actually a very good movie. Probably one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Hangover, great movie. Very, very, very good movie. We have a lot. We have a lot more to discuss, including Monday Night Raw, the final Raw of 2021, which was terrible. Had a couple decent matches on the card, but it was terrible. Happy New Year, Hula Grim. Chinese food last night. It's good. It's good. I had some fried calamari and some hors d'oeuvres. I had some baked clams, some nice Italian bread. Good shit. I had some baked ziti last night. Good shit, man. Good shit. Really good stuff right there. Anyway. Raw was absolute dog shit. I mean, it's like it always is every week. I don't really know. I don't really know what else I could say as far as Monday Night Raw goes. It's becoming so fucking repetitive. I really don't expect anything less in 2022. Let's be real here. RK Bro kicked off the show. They soaked in the crowd reaction. Riddle was talking about Randy Orton. He's talking about Riddle seeing a doctor after Riddle said that, oh my God, I'm growing scales. I'm getting into my inner viper. Whatever the fuck Riddle was saying. So they replayed the match last week where Orton RKO'd Chad Gable into oblivion. Orton failed at RKOing Otis. Riddle talked about how Otis doesn't have a neck. Kind of like Big Swoll doesn't have a brain. I'm sorry. I'm in a different mode today. Otis doesn't have a neck just like Big Swoll doesn't have a brain. Just like the fucking Scarecrow from The Wizard of Oz. All right, I'm done. So, the Alpha Academy interrupted. Gable came out and he said, how did a nitwit like you get so far ahead? Everyone is going to learn a lesson. There is no greater threat in WWE than Otis. I've got my master's degree with a perfect 4.0 GPA. Otis then called the crowd morons. Gable was getting piped in boos because no one gave a shit about anything regarding this segment. Riddle then considered himself a man of higher, quote-unquote, education, or higher intelligence, whatever the fuck he said. This is an anti-Big Swoll chat right here. Fucking hologram. I love you, hologram. I love you. Anyway, okay. So he challenged Gable. Gable then accepted, and Riddle said, I'm going to beat you with the 3 most destructive letters in sports entertainment. RK Bro. Too much comedy bullshit. I love RK Bro, but please get them to be more serious. Enough of the overabundance of comedy. You don't see this shit with Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy actually gets serious when it calls for it. Seriously. No, Didi, you're not going anywhere. Didi, you're not going anywhere. I need you to monitor the chat. Unless you got to go do something yourself, you're staying right here and you're monitoring the chat, making sure no trolls come on in my chat. All right? But we get Matt Riddle versus Chad Gable. This went 3 fucking minutes. And Chad Gable lost in 3 minutes with the floating bro. Otis then attacked Riddle. Otis then dared Orton to get into the ring, and they went into a commercial, and then coming back, Orton and Otis had a match. This match went 3 minutes again. Orton wins with an RKO, and that's it. What a way to make the Alpha Academy look, huh? Please share the stream out, Didi. 3 fucking minutes. 3 fucking minutes. Great. On no planet whatsoever, should 2 matches between Orton and Otis and then Gable and Riddle, on no planet should they be getting 3 minutes each. These matches combined should equal a total of no less than 20 minutes. No less. 10 minutes each. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. It is absolutely fucking insane. Who the fuck is supposed to care about anything when they're 3 minutes? Unless it's a fucking squash match with some type of lame enhancement talent. No one, and I mean nobody, should be going 3 minutes. 2 full-time competitors should get at least 10 minutes. It's a 3-hour fucking show, but you gotta make room for the fucking 24/7 title. You could have given that time to these 2 matches. So Riddle said Orton's present is a big hug. Orton then hugged Riddle. Orton teased, hitting the RKO on Riddle. And then he laughed at Riddle with a, haha, I gotcha face. Little tease for the breakup there. It's coming. Don't know when, but it's coming. Veer Mahan. Veer Mahan is still swimming across the fucking Indian Ocean to come to Raw. You know, by the way, that WWE copied the send hook meme, and they typed in the tweet about Veer Mahan, they typed in send Veer. I mean, come on. How fucking pathetic can you get? That is just fucking sad. I'm sorry. That's just fucking sad. R-Truth and Tamina versus Dana Brooke and Reggie. Who fucking cares? Reggie and Tamina, they get the win. Or Reggie and Dana Brooke, they get the win. And then afterwards, that's it. They ran off. They ran away. Rey and Dominic Mysterio versus the Street Profits. This actually was the best thing on the show. This is actually the best thing on the show. This match was great. Best thing on the show. I'd highly encourage you to go back and watch this match. This was the finals of the RK Bronament. Very swift tag team work by the Profits. Ford and Dawkins were taken to the floor. Mysterios with double planches. Then coming back from commercial, we had a tilt-a-whirl flipping cutter by Dominic. Very good stuff right there. Ford then with a very nice looking enziguri. Ray then tagged in, picked up the pace on Dawkins with a nice head scissor. 619 setup, but Dawkins with a big leaping back elbow for a 2. We had a swinging DDT by Ray. Ford then saved it. A neck breaker by Dominic. A right hand by Dawkins. A silencer. A huge frog splash by Ford. Dominic just was able to save it for his team. Ray then set up Ford with the 619. Hurricane Rana to Dawkins. Dominic with the frog splash, but Ford still kicked out. Big kick out. Crowd's going nuts. Ford then slapped Rey Mysterio. Ford then was taken out. Ray was taken out. Electric chair blockbuster combo by the Profits on Dominic. And the Street Profits win. The Street Profits win a great fucking match. And the Street Profits advance to day 1 today to fight RK Bro for the tag team titles. Very nice stuff right there. Styles came out and he said that next time, Omos said next time that he and I are in the ring one-on-one, he'll be in a match against me. But where is Omos? Don't tell me you're scared. Early in my career, I was scared, but I was never selfish. You got to pay your dues, and your dues will be paid to me. I'm going to kick your teeth in. I've got 20 plus years of experience on you, and there's only one phenomenal AJ Styles. Grayson Waller was then in the crowd, holding a sign. Styles then called him out, invited him into the ring. Styles then introduced Waller to the WWE Universe. Waller said, "You want me to pay my dues? All I had to do was get under the skin of this WWE superstar, and here I am. I like it here." Styles goes, "This is where stars are made, and you're not a star. Why don't I give you a phenomenal forearm so you can look up at the lights, or you can count the lights on your way out?" Apollo Crews then came out, and he goes, "You and Omos are similar to myself and Commander Aziz, but we are a united front." Aziz then says, "If you want to slay giants, why don't you fight me right now?" Styles then accepted it. And then Cruz then said, no. Let me do it. And then boom. So we get Styles and Cruz. This was actually very good. Probably the second best thing on the night. Styles and Cruz. Always good seeing these two wrestle. These two are fantastic at what they do. Cruz tossing around Styles. Cruz with a military press to Styles on the apron. We go to commercial break. Styles came back with a Pele kick, sliding forearm, and an Ushi-Goroshi for a 2. Cruz with a deadlift, sit-out powerbomb for a 2. Moonsault DDT out of the corner by Styles. Aziz then pulled Cruz out of the ring. Styles then went after him. We had a Death Valley driver by Cruz on the apron. Very nice stuff. Styles kicked out. Styles then got hit with an enziguri. Hurricane Rana pinned by Styles. Cruz kicked out. Styles then with a Styles clash. He nearly dropped Cruz, but Styles, being the professional that he is, he was able to do a brilliant move that was able to save Apollo Crews. Styles got the win, and then Styles hit a phenomenal forearm to Commander Aziz, and Styles stood tall. I'd like to see Styles win the Royal Rumble. I think Styles versus Big E would be great. Kevin Owens, he came out, he went on about having a great holiday, and everyone's going to rejoice. Everyone will rejoice when I become the WWE champion, which I think it's a really good chance that he could very well become the WWE champion. MVP then came out. He went on and on about Owens having noodle arms. He read a text from Bobby Lashley. The Hurt Business, Cedric and Shelton then came out. And then Owens said, okay, let's skip all of this. Cedric, come on down here and let's have a little match. We get the match. Owens wins in 3 minutes. Buries Cedric Alexander. Yeah, I think Cedric Alexander, he's one to talk. He's one to talk. Yeah, they're being really diverse over there when they're having Cedric lose in 3 minutes. Yeah. It's fucking Cedric. For those of you that do not get it, Cedric Alexander is the husband of Big Swoll. Cedric's just as big of an idiot as Big Swoll. Just pointing it out there. I love him, but he's an idiot. Dolph Ziggler versus Damian Priest. United States Championship. Ends in a DQ. I didn't mind the new character for Damian Priest at first. I didn't mind it. I actually thought it was decent. But now it's starting to become fucking ridiculous. Why is it that we always have to go into a fucking scenario where a babyface loses his cool, causes a disqualification for himself, the heel gets the win, and then we inevitably go down the route where, okay, we get a match. If this individual gets disqualified or counted out, he loses the championship. It is so fucking overdone. When have you ever seen a scenario like this where an individual loses his cool and gets disqualified in AEW? Never. Enough of this shit. It is fucking stupid. It is absolutely fucking stupid. Eric Bischoff came out to help renew the vows of Miz and Maurice. Yeah. Yes, such riveting fucking TV, huh? Such riveting fucking TV. So Miz promised to dominate Edge at day 1. He was speaking Spanish. He thought he was speaking French. Horrible French. He talked about making love and how Maurice is a role model for the little ones. Fucking hell. So Edge came out and he was going back and forth about how he's going to humble the Miz, blah, blah, blah. All this other bullshit. And then he was looking around. And then Miz was like, oh, what's going to happen? And then just like, oh, no, I'm not doing anything. And then he goes, oh, wait, you didn't want this to be a white wedding, did you? And then Edge gave the Miz and Maurice a fucking brood bath. And that was it. Not as bad as the Bobby Lashley Lana wedding, but still completely unnecessary. Should not have been in the main event, and Raw sucked. Pretty much that. Fucking hate Raw. I swear to fucking God. I hate it. I can't do it anymore. I really can't do it anymore. You guys better be getting me some extra views today, considering I'm doing this with COVID. All right? But thank you guys for sticking by. Thank you, DD. Thank you, Rob Wells Jr. Thank you, Hula Grim. DD is cold, apparently. Try and get under the covers or drink some hot cocoa. Thank you, Dylan. And thank you, Adam Carl. You guys have been fantastic. And we got 2 more shows to go over, and then we're talking about the top 10 matches of 2021. Do not miss that. Let's talk about Dynamite New Year's Smash. Yes, Rob, I do have COVID, but it's not serious at all. I'm actually feeling pretty good, minus a cough. New Year's Smash. New Year's Smash. A very, very, very fun show. Very nice show to close out 2021. 2022 is shaping up to be a big, big, big fucking year for the WWE. Or excuse me, AEW rather. Fuck WWE. Big year for AEW. We got a big show next week on TBS. We got the world title match with Hangman and Bryan. We got the TBS Championship Tournament Finals. We got the Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express. And we got Brian Pillman Jr. Brian Pillman Jr. taking on Malachi Black. Pretty good show coming up next week. Jurassic Express. Lucha Bros and Christian Cage. They took on FTR, Matt Hardy, and Private Party. The heels were in control early on before Jungle Boy caught a side effect by Matt Hardy for a 2. Lucha Bros came in with thrust kicks to the head of Dax Harwood. We had a double DDT by Penta, and then a big senton on Quinn by Phoenix for a 2. Phoenix was then isolated before Phoenix hit a double, triple jump moonsault on FTR. Tag to Luchasaurus. He lit up everyone. Tail whip kick to Cash. Choke slam. And then Penta then tagged himself in. Shit started to get a little heated. Shit started to get a little out of control. Everyone was flying everywhere. Christian then tagged himself in. FTR took advantage, sent Christian into Penta, and then hit the big rig. I didn't mind this. I actually didn't mind this. Thought this was a very fun match. And I'm actually glad that FTR got the win because they can't really lose at all. They've been losing a lot as of lately, so I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it at all. Daniel Garcia and 2.0 versus Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful. The brawl started immediately before the heels took over and they isolated Ortiz. Kingston eventually tagged in. Exploded suplexes all around. We had a tag to Santana. Swift tag team moves by Proud and Powerful. 2.0 and Garcia then got the distraction on Santana. Daniel Garcia rolled up Santana with a handful of trunks for the 1, 2, 3. And we got the brawl continuing afterwards with Garcia actually taking the ring bell and hitting Santana in the face with it. All of a sudden, Chris Jericho came out with Floyd the Bat. He stood tall. Kingston and Jericho then had a war of words exchange between them. And then next week on Rampage, actually, we got Daniel Garcia and 2.0 versus Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful in a street fight. No DQ, anything goes match. Should be good. Can't wait to see that. MJF, he was talking to Wardlow, and he says, you're going to qualify for the Face of the Revolution ladder match at AEW Revolution, and should you win, you will relinquish the TNT Championship title shot to me. So, interesting scenario right there. The breakup is already in motion. The breakup is already in motion. Really good stuff right there. I think Wardlow's going to be a big, big, big time face player in AEW in 2022. Wardlow then took on Colin Delaney, actually. Colin Delaney got destroyed with 4 fucking power bombs. Really, really good stuff, right? I love Wardlow's powerbomb barrage. The powerbomb symphony. It's great. It's great. Now on to my personal favorite part of the show. Dan Lambert. Dan Lambert, he came out cutting a promo with Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. He was trashing Cody Rhodes. Good shit as always. He called Brandy Rhodes a whore. And he says that she's the first Brandy that I know that wasn't a stripper. So really funny shit right there. He then said Cody, you tattooed a Transformers logo onto your neck that even Mike Tyson thinks is stupid. I laughed at that. Brandy Rhodes then came out. And she goes, "Who told you that this was an open mic night, you bobble-headed, ugly-ass, less talented version of Paul Heyman?" So shit started getting real there. Lambert, like the savage that he is, goes, "I prefer Jim Cornette." Brandy goes, "When was the last time you got beat up by a woman and didn't have to pay for it?" So the crowd really getting into this. Lambert then says, "I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and if I'm the one that gets to shut you up, let's go." So Brandy goes, "So you're a black belt? Well, I'm a black bitch. Let's go." Dustin Rhodes then came out to separate them before Ethan Page hit a low blow on Dustin, and that was it. Fucking fantastic. I don't know about you, but this was absolutely fucking fantastic. And this is exactly what AEW is all about. Raw, gritty, unscripted promos that get people talking. You could literally feel the tension through the fucking screen. It was great. Brandy was great. Lambert was great. And on top of that, this just made the entire scenario between Men of the Year, Lambert and Cody, that much more fun. It made it that much more fun. And trust me when I tell you, Lambert is not used to make Cody Rhodes a babyface. He's not. Cody Rhodes is a heel. He's a clear-cut heel. Cody's a clear-cut heel, but what they're doing is they are putting these two guys against Cody to help Cody get them more over. They want to get Men of the Year over. And putting them against a guy like Cody, having them have segments back and forth between Cody and them, and then having them face Cody for the TNT title, that's going to get them over. The goal here is to get Men of the Year over. You got Lambert, and now you got Cody. It's exactly what they're doing. This was fantastic. My favorite segment of the show. Fantastic stuff. Jade Cargill versus Thunder Rosa. This is the TBS Championship Tournament semifinals. This was decent. This wasn't terrible. This was decent, but the winner was wrong. The winner was wrong, and we're going to talk about it. So Jade hit a very nice backbreaker to Rosa. Rosa then targeted the knee of Jade Cargill. By the way, Rosa came out looking like Wolverine. She looked fucking amazing. And I mean amazing. Awesome. Awesome attire by Rosa. So Rosa was sent headfirst into the post. Rosa then was caught with a beautiful looking punt kick by Cargill. Cargill took over. Coming back from commercial, Rosa with a crossbody on Jade for a 2. Rosa then with a big hesitation drop kick to the knee of Cargill multiple times, so that was the story of the match. Cargill with a pop-up Samoan drop and a Canadian backbreaker on Rosa. Jade continued to sell the knee. Rosa hit a shin breaker on Cargill into the figure 4. It was locked in deep, but Cargill was able to get to the ropes. Mark Sterling then caused a distraction. All of a sudden, a masked figure out of nowhere comes in and smashes a bottle over Thunder Rosa's head. Jade Cargill then was able to hit the Jaded, and she wins it. And afterwards, Rosa was attacked by the hooded figure, and it was revealed to be Mercedes Martinez before Ruby Soho came out to save Thunder Rosa and run off Martinez and Cargill. Listen, I understand what they were trying to do. I really do. I understand that you want to make Ruby Soho's victory big. You want to make Ruby Soho's victory big. You want to make it big. You want to make it special. You want to make it a memorable moment, right? A memorable moment where Ruby Soho overcomes the undefeated Jade Cargill. Right? The motive behind it is not bad. The motive behind it is not bad. The motive behind it is not bad whatsoever. I love Mercedes Martinez. Mercedes Martinez is great. Everyone that watches Mercedes Martinez knows that Mercedes Martinez is a very, very viable part in the women's division. Martinez is an excellent pickup. She's only going to help that division. Can you imagine you got Martinez in there? Can you imagine when Ember Moon and Tegan Knox and Toni Storm, when they come in there? It's going to be great. But Jade Cargill's not ready. I'm not saying that she'll never be ready. But at the end of the fucking day, Jade Cargill right now is in a position where she's adequate enough to put on a decent undercard match, right? But she's not there. She's not there at that level to be a champion. I'm sorry. It is a very, 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 very difficult scenario for me to support when realistically the best possible scenario would have been Rosa versus Soho. I understand what they're trying to do, but at the end of the fucking day, you did kind of protect Rosa and you protected Cargill, but Cargill's not going to be able to handle herself at the biggest possible stage. She's not going to be able to put herself in a scenario where she's going to shine the brightest. Rosa and Soho have been there before. They have the most experience. That should have been the match. Now, Soho could still win, and she should win. She should. But I really, really, really don't understand. I really don't understand. I don't understand why. I don't understand why they had to go that route. Rosa beating Cargill wouldn't have hurt. It wouldn't have. I'd like to hope that Soho's still going to win, but very, very, very poor booking scenario right there. She's not bad, Jade Cargill. She's not bad at all. She's adequate, but she's not ready to handle herself in a title match yet. You need to give her another year or two. I'd like to hope that they're going to make the right decision and they're going to have Soho go over. CM Punk came out to address the crowd in Daly's Place. He talked about Jim Ross. He talked about Jim Ross coming back. And he said, "It's great to have you back at work, Jim Ross." He says, "I've been thinking about Brody Lee. And I saw the tribute show to him, and that's what made me want to come here." And, speaking of trolls, I'm talking about MJF. He's a Twitter troll in the flesh. MJF says he's done with me. Me, Darby, and Sting beat MJF and FTR, and I myself am looking towards bigger and better things. Being here. The last Dynamite on TNT, there are bigger and brighter things on the horizon. MJF, you are a waste of my time, and you're an even bigger waste of Tony Khan money than Tim Tebow. Not really sure I get that. But at the end of the fucking day, I don't mind Tim Tebow. But regardless, he says, I found out the hard way that on this mic, he found out the hard way, did MJF. MJF found out the hard way that on this mic, in this ring, even on commentary, nobody can touch me. And it'll be a real shame if someone was to interfere in his quest for gold. We're still getting the match. It's going to happen at Revolution. It's just getting put on hold for now. Still going to happen. Brian Pillman Jr., He cut a promo on Malachi Black, and he challenged Black to a match next week before Black appeared on the stage. He appeared on the stage, right? Pointed at him and left. Really good stuff right there. Cannot wait for the match between Malachi Black and Brian Pillman Jr. Can't wait until Malachi Black becomes a champion. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. Best Friends and Orange Cassidy. Best Friends and Orange Cassidy. They took on Adam Cole and Red Dragon. Really, 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 really good stuff. Really good stuff. I love that the Undisputed Era are back. It's amazing. It's amazing. Crowd chanted Undisputed. Goes to show you how much of an impact that they had. So they isolated Chuck Taylor. Trent then got the tag. He was lighting up everyone. Suplexes to Fish and O'Reilly. We had a tornado DDT. I love Trent's tornado DDT out of the corner. Very intense. So Fish and O'Reilly regained control with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Fish. Double stomp to Fish. Tag to Cassidy. Crossbody and a suicide dive. A stun dog millionaire. Satellite DDT. We had a German suplex DDT combo by Red Dragon for a 2. Chuck Taylor then saved. He saved the match after Red Dragon hit the high-low. We had a big senton by Chuck Taylor on Red Dragon off the stage, by the way. We had a spear by Trent to Cole. Diving DDT by Cassidy. Cole still kicked out. We have the stuffed pile drivers and a beach break before Red Dragon saved it. O'Reilly then accidentally kicked Adam Cole. O'Reilly got taken out before the Best Friends regained control. Brandon Cutler came out, as did the Bucks. Ref was distracted by Cutler. Super kicks by the Bucks. And then they hit Chasing the Dragon, did Red Dragon. And Red Dragon and Adam Cole get the win in an excellent match. Awesome stuff. Very nice episode to close out the TNT era. Really good stuff. I am loving it. TBS Dynamite looks great. AEW Rampage. This was probably one of the best Rampage episodes that they've ever done. I absolutely love this episode. And if you didn't watch the episode last night, you should go out and watch it. Anthony Bowens. He took on Darby Allin. This was the opening match on the show. This was a very, very, very good match. Really good stuff right here. Bowens took advantage after a distraction by Caster. Allin took a forearm shot right to the fucking face. Looked brutal. Bowens with a back elbow and a super kick. Very nice combo. Darby then got crotched on the top rope. Bowens with a rolling DDT. Ref saw his feet on the ropes. Bowens had to take his feet off. And he was arguing with the ref, as typical heels do. Darby took over. Sting took out Caster. Bowens dropped Darby face first on the apron. Darby with a beautiful code red on Bowens for a 2. Big suicide dive taking out the Acclaimed. And then Darby with a coffin drop. And he wins a very good opening match between himself and Anthony Bowens. Anthony Bowens is very underrated. He really is. He's a very good pro wrestler. And he's a Jersey guy. So I got to support my Jersey guys. He's in great shape, too. I want to be in that good of shape as Anthony Bowens. Bowens, can you hit me up on social media? Tell me your secrets. I would love to be in the shape that you are in. Afterwards, all of a sudden, Andrade, El Idolo, came out. And he was clapping. He's like, yeah, hey, good job, Darby. Very sarcastically, but he was clapping. And then that gave the Acclaimed enough time to attack. he punched Darby, did Max Caster with the chain. So if we're getting Andrade versus Darby Allin, I mean, take my fucking money. Seriously, take my fucking money. Take my money. I am absolutely all on board for Andrade and Darby Allin. That is a Revolution match if I've ever seen one. That's great. Excellent, excellent, excellent move right there. The Bunny and Penelope Ford versus Ty Conti and Anna Jay. This is a street fight. Let me tell you something. This was not as good as Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, but holy shit, did these four women do everything in their power in an attempt to make it as good as that match. These four women did not have to go to the lengths that they did. These four women did not have to take it to the lengths that they did, but they did it anyway. And that deserves some fucking respect. These four women are absolutely beyond fucking insane. Crazy fucking shit right here with these four women. This right here, they did everything in their power to make it the best women's match since Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa in that Lights Out Unsanctioned match. What a fucking war this was. This was brutal. And I mean fucking brutal. Brawl started out hot. A table was brought in. Anna Jay was sent right off the post. Ford, then with the punt kick to Conti, she was put on the table. And Ford with a moonsault off the top rope. She landed knees first on Ty Conti, but the table did not break. Now, some people saw it as a botch. I saw it as a move that made it more brutal. The fact that the table didn't break made the moonsault more brutal. It's fucking awesome. Awesome stuff. So that was brutal right there. Ty Conti, she's a fucking beast for taking that. I would not want to take any of the bumps that the women took in this match. So these women, I can say with no shame whatsoever, are all immensely tougher than I am. I will say that. So the table didn't break. Then Ford brought out a bottle and broke it right over Ty Conti's head. Awesome. The bunny was bleeding like a stuck pig. Another table was brought out. Anna Jay then suplexed the bunny onto some chairs. Coming back from commercial, the bunny then dropped Anna Jay through a table. Ty Conti then suplexed Ford onto a ladder on the floor. The bunny then brought out thumbtacks. Of course, we were going to have fucking thumbtacks. Anna Jay suplexed the bunny off of the top rope onto fucking thumbtacks. And not only did the bunny get it, but Anna Jay's head, her fucking head, went into the thumbtacks. I swear to God, Anna Jay is out of her fucking mind. She is absolutely out of her fucking mind. I don't even know how the fuck she even did it. Absolutely out of her fucking mind. I would not want to take that bump. Jay, and the bunny were down. Ford then broke up the cover. Anna Jay nearly won it. Ford broke up the cover. Ty Conti, this fucking crazy bitch, Ty Conti, with a fucking Gotch-style pile driver. A Gotch-style pile driver to Ford. Off the apron, through a fucking table. Looked fucking crazy. Looked absolutely fucking crazy. So, after that, Anna Jay, then with the Queen Slayer. The Queen Slayer, and she had barbed wire wrapped around her arm. Queen Slayer with the barbed wire wrapped around her arm, and she wins it. Bunny taps out. Anna Jay and Ty Conti win a great, crazy fucking street fight. All those four women deserve a fucking payday after that. Let me tell you. Cody. Last match of 2021. Cody versus Ethan Page for the TNT Championship And then we will go over the top 10 matches of 2021. Cody Rhodes and Ethan Page for the TNT Championship. This was an excellent match. Cody Rhodes is great. Ethan Page is great. These two men did a fantastic job. Page with a very nice flying shoulder tackle off the apron. Cody regained control. Figure 4 leg lock. Page came back with a big shoulder tackle, turning Cody Rhodes inside out. Big lariat by Page. Page with a back body drop. DDT on Cody for a 2. Dustin came out. Him and Sky then brawled into the crowd. Cody Rhodes hit the crossroads on Ethan Page, but he kicked out. Page with a power slam off the middle rope. Cody kicked out. Back and forth strikes traded. Cody with a Cody cutter. Page kicked out. Page then was selling the knee. Page then caught 2 crossroads. Cody hooked the arms. I thought he was going to do the pedigree finally, but he didn't. Tiger Driver 98. Cody Rhodes retains the TNT Championship in an excellent match. The TNT title has risen to prominence to become the most important championship right behind the AEW World title and the Universal Championship. The TNT title is one of the most important titles in the industry right now. And I love it. I really do love it. Some really, really, really good stuff right there. Awesome show to end the year. Definitely one of the best Rampage episodes that they've ever done. Let us check the chat. Rob Wells Jr. still here. We got Peanuts and Didi. So, I think everyone wants to know, what are my top 10 matches of 2021? Would you like to know? I think you would like to know. Let's talk about it. Top 10 matches of 2021. It was rather hard for me to choose. But I feel as though a lot of you will agree with my takes here. Number 10, a match that really doesn't get too much praise. I don't know why. Number 10, a match that really doesn't get too much praise. I don't know why, but it was a fantastic match. Johnny Gargano versus Kushida for the NXT North American Championship at NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day. Kushida was on a roll. And Kushida was winning consistently. He was winning consistently for about 6 months up to this point, I would say. Kushida is great, and he was never really given the opportunity to showcase how great he really is. But Kushida is great. Kushida is awesome. Johnny Gargano, we all know how good Johnny Gargano is. Johnny Gargano took on this new heel persona, and we didn't think that he could do it, but man, he blew everyone's expectations out of the water. This was the first time that these two ever faced off one-on-one. I actually had Kushida winning this, but he didn't end up winning it, but that did not take away from how good the match really was. This was a match in front of 50 people in front of the Capitol Wrestling Center, where the old NXT was somewhat still intact. And this was the second match on NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day, and it was actually the highest rated match by Dave Meltzer on the card. It's actually the highest rated match by Dave Meltzer. It was a great fucking match, and I mean a great fucking match. I would absolutely recommend going back to watch it. Johnny Gargano and Kushida, NXT North American Championship, NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day from February 14th of last year, actually, because it's 2022 now, of last year. That is my number 10 match of 2021. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa, lights out unsanctioned match at AEW Dynamite St. Patrick's Day Slam. This undoubtedly was the greatest women's match in AEW to date. And I honestly believe that Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa will end up outdoing themselves when they fight for the Women's Championship come Revolution this year. Just wait, in 2 months, we will see none other than Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's World Championship. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. But Britt Baker, she rose to prominence. This was a feud between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa that was really the star-making feud of Britt Baker. Britt Baker already had 2 victories over Thunder Rosa prior to this match, and though this match didn't count, this was the match that made Britt Baker. This was the match that created the star known as Britt Baker. And that's what I loved. That's what I loved about this match. Britt Baker was made into a star. And then 2 months later, she beat Hikaru Shida to win the AEW Women's World Championship. Now that Britt Baker's already at the top, now Britt Baker is going to transition that Women's Championship from herself to Thunder Rosa. And it is going to be a great moment. It's going to be a great moment where Thunder Rosa becomes the Women's Champion. And we finally get Rosa taking that division to the next level. Britt took it as far as she could. Now it's Thunder Rosa's turn. Number 8. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Bryan Danielson. This is for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania 37, night number 2, which I believe was on April 11th, 2021. This was the only match that really had a legitimate WrestleMania build. Edge has been doing some of the best work of his entire fucking career in this second run. Bryan Danielson, I mean, what do I say about him? He is one of the greatest of all time. He will go down as the greatest professional wrestler, a mat technician. He's going to go down as one of the best of our generation. Bryan Danielson is great. Roman Reigns, he finally is in a position where he is the guy. He's finally in a position where he is at the top of the food chain. He's finally in a position where he is above and beyond the rest, and he could be looked at as the guy to carry a fucking division. No more of this shitty, lukewarm babyface that's not getting the job done. Now Roman Reigns is the guy. And this is what I loved about this match. The build was great. The dynamic between all 3 of them was great. And Bryan made the match better. Even though the match between Roman and Edge at Money in the Bank was great, Bryan made this match that much more better. And I absolutely loved the fact that they included Bryan in this. And Roman Reigns won by stacking and pinning both of them. Both of them. It's great. It's awesome. Roman Reigns should not be losing the Universal Championship until they find someone to take the title off of him. I do not believe that there is anyone, maybe Walter, but I don't know if WWE would go so far as to take a guy that was taken from the UK independent scene by Triple H. Although Walter, they say that they love Walter. I don't know. They said the same thing about Karrion Kross, but who fucking knows with this company? But Roman Reigns, he should not be losing the Universal title tonight. Should not be losing the Universal title at all. They need to find someone that is going to take Roman Reigns' spot. And right now, there is no one. Absolutely no one. But the match absolutely lands as one of the best of the year. Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan, Universal Championship, WrestleMania night number 2. Edge again. He comes in twice on this list. Number 7 is Edge versus Seth Rollins. Hell in a Cell match at WWE Crown Jewel. They actually built up Crown Jewel as a big show. And one of the matches that spearheaded Crown Jewel was Seth Rollins and Edge inside Hell in a Cell. And These two put on absolutely, hands down, the best feud of 2021. These two put on a fantastic program with a lot of personal vendettas, the history of Edge nearly getting his neck stomped in by Seth Rollins all those many years ago, and the fact that Seth Rollins invaded Edge's home, the great match between Edge and Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, and then we had the match at MSG, and then the Hell in a Cell match, the final hoorah. Some of the spots in this match were fucking ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Crazy fucking stuff. Crazy fucking stuff. And I fucking loved the spot where Seth Rollins wrapped the chain around his foot and super kicked Edge. Definitely a must watch. Awesome Hell in a Cell match. Rollins and Edge deserve a standing fucking ovation for the performances that they put on, not just in this match, but the other two matches. But out of the three, the Hell in a Cell match, by far the best match that they've ever put on. And Seth Rollins is doing some of the best work of his career. So much so that some people are actually calling him to win the WWE Championship tonight. And I don't even blame you. I don't even blame you. Edge and Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell. Crown Jewel, number 7. Number 6, Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, LA Knight, and Pete Dunne versus Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, Tony D'Angelo, and Grayson Waller. This is a War Games match from NXT War Games on December 5th, 2021, a month ago. I hate NXT 2.0. And if anyone supports NXT 2.0, you're the fucking problem. NXT 2.0 is a spit in the face to everything that Triple H created. NXT 2.0 is a spit in the face to everything that the WWE should be. It is nothing more than a complete revamp because Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard are envious of Triple H. It all stems from jealousy and envy and the fact that they just have no respect for anything that Triple H did. And they're just completely petty towards Triple H. I hated the blatant theme of old school versus new school because now they're playing it up as the new school is going to kill the old school and the new school is going to take over when no one really wants that. We want that old school NXT. We want the raw and gritty nature. We don't want superstars that Vince hand selects. We want superstars to organically rise to prominence. Not just because of Vince McMahon says they can, or Bruce Pritchard says they can, or they have the look or the hair color that someone wants, or the skin color. Big Swoll. Fucking retarded cunt. Anyway. But this match, I cannot discredit how good this match was. Some of the spots in this match were extremely creative. Tony D'Angelo doing a crowbar neck breaker on Pete Dunne. Grayson Waller with the fucking huge elbow from the top. Braun Breaker spearing Ciampa through the cage. All 8 men worked their asses off, and I can't discredit the talent. I can't discredit the talent of Carmelo Hayes, Tony D, Braun Breaker, and Grayson Waller. They're fantastic. They really are. I can't discredit them. I really can't discredit them. Really, really, really good stuff right there. And it ended with Braun Breaker pinning Tommaso Ciampa, which is a sign of things to come next week at New Year's Evil when Braun Breaker inevitably takes the title off of Tommaso Ciampa and the old NXT is completely dead. If it's not dead already, it's going to be dead. But the match was great. The match was excellent. One of the best War Games matches that the company's ever done. It falls in as number 6 on my top 10 best matches of the year. Number 5, Walter versus Ilya Dragunov for the NXT United Kingdom Championship at NXT TakeOver 36. Words can't even describe how violent and brutal this match really was. It was the last TakeOver that we will ever see. And props to Walter and Ilya Dragunov for giving us a TakeOver-worthy match. And Who knows? If this was in front of an arena of 10,000 people, it could have ranked higher up on my list. But holy shit, was this a great fucking match. It was fucking awesome in every sense of the word. I absolutely loved the brutality in this match. I loved the story that was told. I loved the slow build with Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov, he almost reminds me of a Russian Adam Hangman Page, and how they told the story of Dragunov coming in and no one really knew who he was in 2019, and then he rose to prominence in 2020, especially with that match against Balor, and then the feud with Joe Coffey, and then he had the match with Walter at the end of 2020, and then in 2021, he really began gaining some steam, and he began gaining a lot more fan support. So much so that people were actually, more and more people were actually calling for him to take the title off of Walter. And that's exactly what happened here. The brutality of this match made the match that much more believable, and Ilya Dragunov was the perfect guy to take the title off of Walter. And I am extremely happy that Ilya Dragunov is getting a run with the championship, because Ilya Dragunov is a fucking stud. He is absolute fucking money. He is a baby face, right down to the very last letter. The facial expressions that he has and the way that he just exudes his in-ring style. The fact that he does what he does so well makes you want to root for him, because he's that good of a seller. He's that good of a storyteller. And Walter, I really have nothing to say about Walter, because Walter, he's on another level unto himself. He's actually the only legit guy in the WWE to take the title off of Roman right now. Will they do that? Probably not. They're probably going to give it to fucking Lesnar. But Walter would be a perfect candidate to take that title off of Roman. I'm all for that. All for it. Walter and Dragunov. A buffet of brutality this match was. Go out of your way to watch it. That ranks in at number 5. Number 4. Darby Allin versus MJF Full Gear. Back on November 13th. This match had no championships. This match had no Dynamite Diamond ring. No stipulation. No nothing. Absolutely nothing. And these two went out there for 22 minutes and stole the fucking show. In the opening match. In the opening fucking match. They stole the show. I don't even know how to fucking describe this match. These two men were given the green light by Tony Khan to go out there and steal the fucking show. Two guys, as young as they are, that are looked at as the future of the company, stole the fucking show. It's unbelievable. It's fantastic. You would never see something like that in WWE. When have you ever seen two young up-and-coming stars in WWE on the main roster go out there on a pay-per-view for 20 minutes and steal the whole fucking show in the opening match? When have you ever seen that? You don't. You don't. Don't you think that a guy like Ricochet and Angel Garza could put on a match like that if they wanted to? What about someone like a fucking Humberto Carrillo? What about someone like a fucking... Who else is there? Hasn't got an opportunity. What about Cedric Alexander? What about Cedric Alexander? You really think Keith Lee and fucking Karrion Kross couldn't have done that if given the time? Guys like this would never get the opportunity in the WWE, and they don't. WWE has already put up that wall again. No midgets, quote unquote. But yet they want MJF. A little hypocritical, if you ask me. This ranks in at number 4. It's in the top 5. Watch it back. Darby Allin shut up a lot of people in this match. A lot of people just call him a glorified stuntman. He's not. He's a fucking professional wrestler. I already knew how good MJF was. This just further validated that. And the ending, probably one of the best endings to a match all year. MJF legitimately punched Darby Allin with the Dynamite Diamond ring and beat him with a fucking headlock TakeOver. It's fucking brilliant. It's great. It is fucking great. I love it. I absolutely fucking love it. It is brilliant. It is fucking great. It's awesome. I got nothing bad to say about this match. This match was perfect, but there was only 2 matches. There was only 2 matches they were able to, or 3 matches rather, that were able to top this. It was tough to top it, but 3 matches were able to do so. And I'm going to tell you which ones they were. Number 3, the top 3. Number 3, Adam Page versus Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship at AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming on December 15th. Bryan Danielson again. I cannot give this man enough praise. I really can't. Bryan Danielson is, again, like I said when I talked about Roman, Edge, and Bryan, one of the greatest of all time is Bryan Danielson. People that try and discredit him just because he went to AEW, you are part of the problem. Bryan Danielson was the perfect opponent for Adam Hangman Page's World Championship title reign because of how good he really is. He can do both. He can play a heel, he can play a babyface, he can work any type of fucking wrestling style. Any type. And this match made the World Championship feel that much more important as this went to a 60-minute time limit draw. Adam Page was better off for it. Bryan got Adam Page even more over than he originally was when he beat Omega. And come next week on the debut episode of Dynamite on TBS, when we have Bryan and Page for the World Championship, this is going to by far enhance Page even further up the fan hierarchy totem pole. This is going to get Page even more over than the last match. This match right here was a catalyst, a strategic plan by Bryan Danielson to help get Page even more over. And that's what I fucking love about Bryan Danielson, how selfless he is. This was a great fucking match. People were trying to complain of the time limit draw after 60 minutes. I don't know what the fuck you're complaining about. Maybe you're just a fucking idiot. There's nothing to complain about. You people really need to appreciate A, the time limit draw more, and B, how good these people really are. Stop discrediting this match. This was one of the best matches of the year, a picture-perfect ending, and Bryan Danielson and Adam Page, they're going to do it all over again on the debut episode of Dynamite on TBS. Adam Page, Bryan Danielson, AEW World Title winner is coming, ranks at number 3. Number 2, Bryan Danielson again. Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega, AEW Dynamite Grand Slam, September 22nd, 2021. This was the most important match in AEW history thus far. The most important match in AEW history thus far. Now, why didn't it rank at number 1? You're going to find out why after I talk about this match. But Kenny Omega, Bryan Danielson, Grand Slam. For 30 minutes, these two absolutely stole the show in the opening match. But not only was this a show stealer, not only was this a big money match, not only was this a big turning point for AEW. Not only was this the most important match in AEW history, it was the most important match in AEW history because of the fact that New York City is typically WWE's home. The tri-state area is the home of WWE. Jersey, New York, and Connecticut, that's WWE's home. AEW went in there in Arthur Ashe Stadium in front of 21,000 people. An unknown area to AEW, and they absolutely tore the fucking house down. Not only was this match great, but the entire show was great. But this match right here, this match was the turning point for AEW, and this solidified the fact that AEW is here to stay. Tony Khan knows exactly what he's doing, AEW is a company that is going to go in to whatever area that they are put in, and they're going to fucking put their best foot forward and take over the area and make everyone aware, hey, we're here and we ain't slowing down. We got our foot on the gas and we ain't taking it off. We're going to push that gas pedal down as far as we can possibly go. We're going to push it right through the floor and make sure everyone around the fucking world is aware that AEW is here to stay. That's exactly what this match did. This was the most important match in AEW's 3-year history thus far. And it did not disappoint. Excellent fucking match. Number one. The Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks. Steel cage match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships at All Out on September 5th in the Now Arena in Chicago, Illinois. The Bucks did it again. They did it last year, they did it this year. The hate on the Young Bucks is completely unjustified. I want to point that out there. If you don't like the Young Bucks, that's fine. But if you're going to openly deny the fact that they're the greatest tag team of all time, then you are living in denial. I hate Tom Brady. I hate Tom Brady with every fiber of my being. Matter of fact, I wish I could see the guy get punched in the face on live television. I hate Tom Brady. But I'm not going to deny the fact that he's the GOAT. I can't deny the fact that Tom Brady is a fucking mastermind when it comes to football. I can't deny the fact that Tom Brady will go down as the greatest quarterback in NFL history. Look at the statistics. Look at how well he plays. Look at the teams that he's been a part of. Tom Brady's the GOAT. The Young Bucks are the Tom Brady of professional wrestling. Not only with championships and accomplishments, but the Young Bucks have given us some of the most memorable moments in tag team wrestling history. Same thing with Tom Brady. He's given us some of the most memorable moments in NFL history. That's the one thing that defines the Young Bucks over everyone else. It's not just accomplishments. It is memorability. And the greatest thing about it is the fact that they did it without WWE. They created all of these memorable moments without WWE whatsoever. And now, they will ultimately go down as the greatest tag team of all time. You don't have to like them, but you're going to have to acknowledge it. Again, the shirt. Truth is the truth. The Young Bucks are the greatest tag team in professional wrestling history. Hands down. The Lucha Bros are right up there too. The match that these two put on, it was so good because of the simple fact that, A, the story that they told with the Lucha Bros, the fact that the Lucha Bros had been there since day one, and the fact that they had a lot of different opportunities, but they hadn't won the big one yet. They were put up against guys like Omega and Bryan and Cody, but they never, not even Bryan, I don't think so. Omega and Cody and a couple of other big names, FTR as well, but they never won the big one. They were never in a position where they were given that big win. They fought for the world championship, fought in ladder matches, the tag team titles, but they never won the big one. This was the show that they were meant to win the big one. And then that combined with the fact that the story between the Bucks and the Lucha Bros, the fact that this was the first major rivalry of a tag team in AEW. They stole the show at Double or Nothing, and then we go into All Out in 2019, and they have the Escalera de la Muerte, and the Lucha Bros won. That made this match more unpredictable. Are we going to see the Bucks get their win back from 2 years ago at All Out, or are the Lucha Bros going to win again? And the heel run that the Young Bucks have been on, combined with the fact that this was a steel cage match and how long their title reign has been, everything lined up perfectly. And when the Bucks lost, when the Lucha Bros got that pile driver on, I believe it was Matt Jackson, they pinned him 1, 2, 3. Lucha Bros became the new champions. That pop absolutely blew the roof off of the Now Arena. And that right there is exactly what professional wrestling is all about. Tag team wrestling's a fucking draw, and the Young Bucks have shown that. And the Young Bucks, it goes to show you how great the Young Bucks really are, that they were able to put over the Lucha Bros. And the Lucha Bros, whoever they put over, I'm guessing it's going to be Proud and Powerful. When the Lucha Bros inevitably put over Proud and Powerful, it is going to be something special. How well that they've transferred credibility from one team to the next. Everyone, really, how they've transferred any credibility from one individual to the next when it comes to their champions is great. Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros, number one, the picture-perfect match of 2021. Ladies and gents, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. Thank you one and all for tuning in to the very first LFU of 2022. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links in the description as well. I will be live tweeting tonight for WWE Day 1 2022. Do not forget the Rewind with Mr. Earl Cole, baby, coming to you live right here on YouTube tomorrow. That's right, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, we got the rundown for Battle of the Belts, and then we got the LFU on January 8th and the Rewind for Battle of the Belts on January 9th. I should be back at work by January 10th, and then things should smooth over. But nevertheless, I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. Rob Wells Jr., Dee, Peanuts, Adam Carl, Lisa, everyone. I am DJ Storms. This has been the LFU. Happy New Year, everyone, and I will catch you for Day 1 tonight, come 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is when the pre-show starts, and of course 8 p.m. when the main show starts.